Yeah, yeah. Okay. I think we're on. Is it on? Did
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Sometimes when we click on it, it don't never do nothing. What's going on, everybody, ladies and gentlemen? You know what time it is, or kind of sort of you know what time it is. It's your boy K Witch. I was on draft pick. My guy AP Allen, what it do? We are here once again. The RecRoom Sports crew, the whole team will be in the building shortly. And we're back again, bro. Once again on another Tuesday. We going up like we always do. And it's crazy, man. This was a really good weekend for just sports, Alan. Not just and if you're a fan of football, basketball, college basketball, MMA, boxing, like there was a little bit of something for everybody. So we might as well just jump it off with the warm up, man. And you know me, Alan. I do the show with my guy Nick Bodkins and Bobby Blunts. We do head kicks and haymakers. Tomorrow we're probably going to be going over the entirety of the card for UFC 322 because there was some big ups and downs on that card. But on Saturday night, man, the main event, Islam Makhachev versus Jack Della Maddalena, the Australian heartthrob, so to speak, the heartbreak kid from Australia. He went out there and he got pummeled to death, brother. I'm talking about a full masterclass of what Dagestani wrestling looks like took place Saturday night. And Islam Makhachev, although not necessarily champ because he did give up his belt, is now somewhat looking up, bro. And it is crazy to say that we've seen him pretty much eat through one whole division, and now we have to kind of view it from the other side as Islam Makhachev beat JDM, and then of course somehow some way the great Ilya Topuria steps in and says, hey, that's the most boring fight ever. JDM needs to learn how to wrestle, and that the fight that they should make is for Islam Makhachev versus Ilya Topuria. I am all for that, bro. I'm all for that. As an MMA fan, somebody who loves UFC, if they ever could get that to happen, that a catchweight or whatever, I am 110% completely with there being the not the JDM, but the Islam Makhachev Ilya Topuria fight. But then right before that, because it was in Europe, of course, the Conor Benn Chris Eubank fight, no, the second one, right? If anybody knows anything about the history of boxing, Conor Benn and Chris Eubanks Sr., Conor Benn Sr. and Chris Eubanks Sr. both somehow were in the same division in the late 80s, mid 80s, the late 80s, early 90s, fought each other, had some real wars. And earlier this year, Eubanks and Ben went at it, went toe to toe. And Chris Eubanks Jr. pulled out the win with his father in his corner. The tides will turn on this one as we see Conor Benn go for broke and pretty much, put Chris Eubanks on the mat, on the canvas, and won by, and won at a unanimous decision in a unanimous fashion. I can't really, knock him for it. But once again, they seem to fill up a stadium of people to watch that event. So English boxing is back on the map, and then Conor Benn goes and calls out all the American fighters, the Devin Haney's, the Teofimo Lopez's and whatnot, all the guys that you can think of for boxing in America right now at that division. Conor Benn called him out and said he could get him any day, twice on Sunday. And then, of course, yesterday, Alan, your thing that you guys watch, you and Sam with the On the Mat show for wrestling, right? Yesterday was John Cena's last Raw. Like, how was that, bro? Tell me about that.
I mean, it was a spectacle. I mean, what better place to have it than in, Madison Square Garden? That the mecca of what they call sports entertainment or professional wrestling. It's only fitting that his final appearance on Monday night is at Madison Square Garden. Of course, he did have one final Boston appearance in the TD Garden as well, which was a special moment, winning the only championship he hadn't won in his entire career, the Intercontinental title. But getting one final special moment there in the Boston, in the mecca that is Madison Square Garden, which, if you know anything about your history, is where a lot of diehard wrestling fans are. Madison Square Garden, Chicago, Philadelphia. Those are your diehard wrestling fans. So, and of course, getting to have a match with some of the better one of the better young talents right now in Dominic Mysterio, who's going to have 3 of his last 4 matches, which is crazy to even think about. I mean, it was a great night. It was a great night. It was a great send off for him. Obviously, he's still got 2 more dates to go. Well, technically 3, because he's going to be on NXT in a couple weeks next week. So technically, he's got 1 more. It's kind of sort of additional date, but I think he's just going to appear like on a backstage segment or something like that. But he will be performing in San Diego in about a week and a half. Technically his final PLE premium live event, which is going to be Survivor Series. And then Saturday night's main event in Washington, D.C., December 13th will be his final match of his entire career. So
now, Alan, as you did so well, or you've been so well, chronicling what has been happening with John Cena, with the kind of road to retirement, in comparison to some of the other great stars of the WWE, the Heartbreak Kids, the Ric Flairs, the Hulk Hogans. Like, is the way that they're sending him off enough to kind of compare to like what they did to Ric Flair, The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin when they had his last match? Like, is it on that? Is it up to par to those names? Because when he's done, when he's completely done, and I don't know if you know, ladies and gentlemen, I don't care if you've been living under a rock, John Cena is one of the, if not the best wrestlers of our decade and possibly all time. So that's why I'm asking you once again, Alan.
I mean, a lot of people call him the GOAT. A lot of people call him the GOAT because he brings a lot of what you need in a big time professional wrestler. He's got the look.
Yeah.
He's got the charisma. He can speak on the mic. He sold the tickets. He sells the merchandise, which is a big thing. He's got, he had his own rap album. For those who haven't heard it before, 2005, he had his own rap album.
Right.
That was kind of the gimmick that kind of launched his career into superstardom. Because if you go back in interviews, he said in Christmas of 2002, he was going to get cut. Like, there's nothing for him at that point. He came in, had one of the best debuts in history. Ruthless Aggression slapped Kurt Angle in the face, and we're off to the races. But he was going to get cut had he not done the rapping gimmick. Had he not transitioned into the rapping gimmick, that he wouldn't have been what he is now. So, I mean, I would definitely put him up there as one of the best all time. Little shaky start to the farewell tour this year, but I think once SummerSlam rolled around, they course corrected it, and it has been a fun experience these last few months. We've got to see a lot of dream matches. We've got to see, obviously him giving a lot of the younger talent some opportunities. Him and Dom, as I just mentioned before. I think that they course corrected, and it's been a wonderful send off. I don't think it's as good as what they did for Ric Flair, but
okay,
it's pretty good. It's been pretty good so far.
Yeah, that's what I was going to get at right there. Ric Flair went out one way, The Rock went out another way, Undertaker went out one way. You know what I mean? And somewhere in there, what I'm saying, even though I'm not as affluent of a watcher, I'm really catching the vibes that this is a monumental moment in WWE history, that they're kind of pivoting just to give him the Continental title, and then somehow they're going to pivot to SummerSlam. Well, not SummerSlam. What's next?
Survivor Series, which is
Survivor Series. Yeah, with the two rings in the cage. Am I correct?
Yep, War Games. He won't be in the War Games match itself, but he'll be defending his title against Dominic. So,
oh my God, and that's going to be something we've got to catch up with. Look, guys, we're 10 minutes already into the show. You know what that means? We got to go ahead and get to it. Man, magically, look, everybody's showing up. I'm seeing them in the background. It's your boy K with your mama's number one draft pick. We're going to have to go live, so go ahead, tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend. Like, share, subscribe. It's the RecRoom Sports Show right here on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. We all over the place, man. Tell a friend. Let's get it going. Let's do it now.
This is RecRoom Sports. Olympians carrying the torch, going where they don't go. We ain't lost. From the optics to the topics, we got this with synopsis. Think outside the boxes like Jay on the mic or your boy K Witt. Joe is my coach, T Sweat on the mix. All sports, even if you catch fish like Nate Diaz catches fist. You need to catch this episode, it's a can't miss. We go live and you should subscribe and X's and O's. We made our plan, yo.
Yeah, yes, sir. It's your boys, man. We live in the full effect, and of course, I gotta do it, man. My guy, AP, Alan, Maryland, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on, bro? How we feeling?
You're welcome, SEC. You're welcome.
Wow. Okay, we'll definitely get into that when Alan gets into his Gimme 5. You know how Alan does it. He watches all of college football over the weekend and gives us the top 5 things to recommend you to know from this past weekend. I got my guy in the background. I'm gonna let y'all guess who it is. He's gonna jump in on the Gimme 5 as well. But I got my homegirl. I think she's ready. She gets a little hangry. She had to eat first. But one time for your mind, big shouts out to my peoples, man. Miss April, what it do? Okay. Yeah, I appreciate you for showing up.
I feel better now. I had to eat real quick. I feel better now.
You remind me of that Snickers commercial. You're not yourself when you're hungry. Okay. But I appreciate you for showing up. Thank you, April, of course. And we got the rest of the gang showing up. We got Bobby G on the way. And just like normal, man, of course, want to give big shouts out to our guy, Jay, who is on the road. Jay, what it do? Jay, what's up? At your local bar, accosting the waitresses, making sure that they are scanning QR codes and following us here at the RecRoom Sports Hub. Jay, we appreciate you, bro. We know you're out there on the road doing your thing. Can't wait to get back on the show. And later on today, one of our good friends on the show, the FTF, right? We got Champ coming through. Big Champ, what it do? Podcast. Can't forget about Worldwide Champ Podcast, well, Worldwide GOAT Podcast. Once again, can't forget about that. And I think we got a couple guests in the building. Looks like we got Jared from Dallas in the building. Jared, we see you early today. Jared, what's going on? How you doing?
How you doing? I gotta go to sleep in a little while. So how you doing?
Hey man, we appreciate you, Jared, for coming on in. And then once again, we got Uncle Champ on the way. So let's go ahead and get it going, man, bruh.
Jerry, what'd you think of Quinnen Williams last night?
I don't care about Quinnen Williams. I want to talk about George Pickens and the trade I made to bring him here.
Oh Lord! Oh, somebody gave you some ammunition. Well, Uncle Jerry, somebody gave you some ammunition to have a conversation today. But you know what we do, man? It's your boy K with your mama's number one draft pick. We got Abel, we got Jerry, we got AP Allen in the building. And of course, we got to start at the top of the show, man. So make sure you are finding us and following us on Twitter/X. That's at RecRoom Sports. On Instagram at _RecRoom Sports. On TikTok, that's at RecRoom Sports Hub. On YouTube, that is going to be at the RecRoom Sports Hub. And then, of course, you got to do what you do when every time you're in the comment section. Tell us who your team is and shout them out. Answer the questions. Let us know what you think. If you're not rocking with what we're saying, we definitely get it. But comment, please. That's what we're here for. And then got to give a shout out to all of our workers, all of our school teachers, everybody who works, emergency services, EMS people. Big shouts out to all of my firefighters. I met a couple of days, got them to scan the QR code. I hope they're watching. All my people who drive, all my Uber drivers, all my Lyft drivers, you know what I'm saying? All of my Door Dashers out here getting that money. We appreciate you. If you ever rode with me in the car, you ever scanned the QR code, I appreciate you as well. But now we got to remind you that, of course, it's going up on a Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. So now let's go ahead and get into it. As we talked or started off in the beginning, man, UFC 322 went down. Islam Makhachev took out JDM, Jack Della Maddalena. Chris Eubanks and Conor Benn 2 happened. Shout out to Conor Benn and his father getting the victory this time. And then John Cena's last Raw in Madison Square Garden was an awesome event. Thanks, Alan, for throwing us up on that one. But somewhere in the world, ladies and gentlemen, there's a league. Oh, yeah, there is. And that league, guess what, y'all? That league is the RecRoom League. Don't let your heart pump Kool-Aid, because in the RecRoom Fantasy League, we take it serious. I don't know where you've been or what kind of rock you've been living under, but fantasy football has been taking the place pretty much all across America, man. Millions of people download apps, whether it be Sleeper, whether it be the NFL fantasy app. What else? What's another good app that people use, Alan, for fantasy football? What's another good one?
I mean, ESPN for now until they get rid of it.
Right, yeah, right. ESPN app, like fantasy football, has been taking over our lives, ladies and gentlemen. Every weekend, we're waking up early, we're checking rosters, we're seeing who's in, who's out. And me personally, I made a huge mistake this weekend because I did not know that somebody was not going to be playing, and I missed out on the opportunity to get mad points. So let's go ahead and take a quick look into that. So Jerry,
Yes, sir.
so
Yes.
big shouts out to Jerry. We know you normally are one of our guys. We got on the show Lock It In with, of course, you and our guy Tanner Dawson and Big Allen. So when it comes to Lock It In this past weekend, what was something that came up where you was like, hey, is if this guy is out there floating around on the roster, what moves should we have made? What did you guys talk about this past weekend, bro?
In terms of fantasy, I basically listen to Tanner because he's on with Mikey from Basement Fantasy Brood.
Right.
We talked about, Alan, what did we talk about this weekend?
I mean, there was a couple wide receiver, I think, talks that we did. I mean, after what we saw this past weekend, maybe Kenneth Gainwell could be interesting.
Yeah.
Eric Wilson, running back for the Packers, with Josh Jacobs potentially being out this week, could be a pickup if you need a running back. Maybe drop Ashton Genty after what we saw last night, because I think if you ask me, I don't know about you, Scott, but I think Ashton Genty might be the biggest bust this year right now.
Wow.
Because
well, it's not him. It's the offensive line in Las Vegas. It's just awful. He can't get to the line of scrimmage half the time because he's getting tackled in the backfield. So I wouldn't put it on him. I would put it more on the offensive line in Las Vegas. And I think they just got to, in the offseason, they got to go after offensive linemen in the draft, free agency, any place they can get them, because it's bad in Las Vegas. I mean, you saw it last night. 6 carries, 7 yards. That's not good. It's no good.
24 yards rushing total by the Raiders last night.
Yeah.
So I was marked safe from having to watch the Cowgirls and the Raiders last night.
Wow.
Yeah, marked safe.
You didn't see Quentin Williams have his best game as an NFL professional last night?
Nope. I had
sack
to
and a half and a career high 5 quarterback hits.
I was doing my theater thing last night, so I was safe from having to watch that, because no, absolutely not.
Absolutely not. That's how you feel.
Cowboys looked okay. The Raiders were awful.
The guy I would go after this week.
Who decided to put that game on a Monday? Why?
Yeah, the NFL decided because it's Las Vegas. I mean, they want to showcase as much as they can. So
It's
to get the
Vegas and it's the
Cowboys to
Cowboys.
Vegas, yeah, and it's the Cowboys too. So that's why the NFL did what they did. But next week is Carolina, San Francisco. I mean, is that even any better matchup than last night? I don't think so. I mean,
Why? Who is
Carolina's
making
got
these schedules? Like,
the
we need to
NFL
talk.
does this.
Whoever's making a schedule, we need to talk. Cause
So ESPN and NBC have their choice, basically. And they'll put in what they want, and the NFL will either approve it or say, nope, you can't have that game. It's being protected by the networks. So I blame ESPN a little bit for this because their Monday night games have not been that great this year.
Nah, really, no. Nah.
No. So
and surprisingly, up until 2 weeks ago, the Thursday night games have been amazing, and those are normally the crappy games. But all the Monday games are the crappy games this season. Wait,
Yeah.
you suck.
Agreed.
Yeah. So I just had to put it up there, like
Wait, you suck.
the rankings, bro. Like I'm out here short at the bottom, bro. 3-8. It's looking horrible. It's not looking any. I'm not looking any better. It's really not going good for me right now. Then at the top, of course, we got the gang. We got Uncle Scott. He's doing his thing right there. But look, like somehow, some way, Uncle Scott. Look at you, 7-4. Tied with Jay. I think if I'm not mistaken, you just took your first loss. Jay's got 2 wins in a row. He just got you. Shout out to Allen at 7-4. So it's like a 3-way tie at the top with Allen, Jay, and Uncle Scott right now.
And Abel's right there too. I mean,
Yeah,
it's close. It's close.
Look at that. It's really going down. And of course,
So
we got Jay Daniels' mom at the bottom. Someone right there as well. Postseason Poppy. We got my guy Mike Jones. Shout out to Mike Jones, run amok. We got Coach Joey in here as well, I believe. It's a fun thing with the game.
this is where I have messed up. This is like the second week that I've had Jacoby Brissett, and he's scored like 80 points, and he's been on my bench. This is the second week that that's happened to me.
Yeah, see,
Otherwise, my record be a little bit different. But and then CJ Stroud, he had a 70 or 80 point week as well, and I had him on the bench. I'm just messing myself up.
yeah.
I could be kicking all y'all butt right now. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I had a horrible draft. Everybody I thought was going to be doing good is not. Let's just put it like that. And then this past weekend, I had an idea in my mind that Brock Purdy would not be starting and that Mac Jones would. And then magically, boop, they insert Brock Purdy, and Brock Purdy does extremely well. And I still got Mac Jones.
I know.
On all my starting lineup. So
I know. I have Purdy.
Yeah, and look at that, and it happened.
Let's put it this way. So I'm in a $5,000 league.
Woo!
Okay.
Dang.
Yeah, I play high stakes, big time. So I had George Pickens last night, and I was down 23 points. He got me 29 points last night.
Damn.
So I won that. Now I'm tied for first place, and the top 4
Wow.
go to the playoffs for a chance to win like 15, 16 grand. So.
Yo, shout out to you, man.
I'm very thankful that Dak chose to throw a lot to George Pickens because I was also facing somebody who had CeeDee Lamb last night. And after Lamb caught that touchdown, we were like neck and neck. But I also had Dak on my fantasy team, so he got me 4 touchdowns. So I'll take it.
Wow. Oh, yeah. And also in the back, I believe he's getting ready. Big shout out to, of course, our good friends out there at Audible Sports Podcast, where life is supposed to meet culture. We got to go ahead, man. Let's show our guy, Uncle Bobby G, out there in Vegas. Bobby G, what it do?
What up? They tried to shut me out, but it's all good. Can't keep a brother down. Trying to keep the black man down.
So Bobby G, man, you're up here with the homies, man. Right now, looking pretty good. Ready for the playoffs at 6-5. What's been your assessment or your keys to victory this past few weeks with the fantasy league, bro?
My keys to victory and success have been ignoring my team. I've not paid attention to my team since like week 2 of the season. Yeah, it's just been yeah, that's it. I just I don't know, man. I like tradition, and so I can't get with 2 quarterback. I don't the whole I don't I'm not like you can have 6 wide receivers in your line. Like come on, bro. Like that's like what are we doing here? We're gonna play
Bobby, you don't
football.
like
Let's
that
play
90
football.
point quarterback week?
Nah, man. I just like this. I'm in another league where there's no defense and no kickers. Like, what are we doing?
What?
Like, yes, like, and it's my fault. I did not look at I didn't read the fine print, but it is what it is. Either way, at the end, through the graces of football gods, I will still be victorious, as you can see. So you can't keep Jaden Moms down, Jaden Daniels' mom down. So that's what it is.
Wow,
You're below me, so you're not that victorious.
that statement sounds really
Wow.
crazy. Say it out loud.
Wow.
Yeah, shout out to the shots probably being fired by April, as she has also told me that I suck. But it's all good.
Oh,
Hey.
did I beat you though?
That was the week that I had Jacoby Brissett.
Hold on, but I beat
80 points. Oh.
But did you die? Okay. But did you die?
Hey, bro, you know what happens? You put Jacoby Brissett in your lineup, he'll get you like 35 or something like that.
Yeah, that'll
Right?
be it.
It just happens that way every year. Same thing I go through. I haven't started.
I mean,
this
did
guy, I'll
anybody
start him.
expect you? Did anybody expect you would complete 47 passes this week? No.
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 Oh,
And
don't
then
worry.
you still lost.
Oh yeah, don't worry. We're gonna talk about Jacoby Brissett in a little bit coming up. But hey guys, once again, we appreciate y'all kicking it with us on the fantasy league. We're gonna keep it going because before the end of the season, we're gonna rectify who's winning and who's losing. All it takes is a couple good moves, a couple good plays, and boom, the season's gonna turn into something else. Uh-oh. Yep.
What's the last place punishment in this league? Do we have one?
I don't know, and we have not necessarily declared one. So I personally,
I'm not shaving my head.
I personally am not in on it. I'm not even going to necessarily, declare what it will be, but we can find it. What I'm saying, or we can pick one. Maybe we could, play some talk and see who really is going to get the last place joint. Because it can't be me. I'm not going to do it. All right,
You have to win some games.
I mean, magically, everybody I pick when I put them in does not do well. So this is something that we have to fix. Don't worry, we will rectify the situation.
Not for nothing, but Alan knows about these losing bets and having to wear other teams' jerseys. So
Yeah, let's just say I've already had to wear a Yankees hat twice, and I'm pretty sure I had to deep scrub my head from top to bottom twice.
What?
It's not been fun.
I have a Jeter jersey that was 50.
The funny thing is, I have a cat, and the minute I took it off, he peed on it. So I was happy about that.
The cat saved you.
But the funniest thing about that, was that the one I actually won, which was against a buddy of mine. Shout out to Carlos from Just Fans. He's a Houston Astros fan. If you remember, 2 years ago, we were playing them in the ALCS. We made the bet whoever doesn't come out of the ALCS has to wear the other team's hat and has to drink from the other team's drinking cup. And I still have the cup, but I use that to clean my toilet. So. But I won the bet, so I didn't even have to deal with it. I just use it to clean my bathroom now. So
wow. So we got a cup that Alan cleans his bathroom with, and shouts out to your cat for peeing on jerseys. Okay, moving on, yo. So as we know, recently, the NCAA basketball season has pretty much taken the forefront like it always does. Everybody knows, Bobby G. I think we were talking about it the other day. NCAA college basketball kind of slides in around now, and then we start really picking up in like December, February, January, right?
Mhm.
But of course, we got to do it, right? Dick Vitale would have it no other way if we didn't talk about the diaper dandies. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. There are new diaper dandies every year. When we talk about diaper dandies, we talk about the young men who are freshmen, who are clear freshmen, who are joining the ranks of the NCAA tournament, or will be playing in different and various tournaments themselves before they make the NCAA tournament, and have been pretty much on display throughout their high school careers. Some are McDonald's All-Americans, some are sons of former NBA players. The list goes on and on, and some just went to school just because of the bag. That's with the way the new rules are with the NCAA. So right now, let's go ahead and get into it. Like there are a couple in my mind that have immediately stood out that we all pretty much have been covering since their inception, since they made it, from high school. Clear standouts right now are going to be guys like AJ DeBansta, of course, who is pictured down below. BYU is not the necessary place that you think of when it comes to basketball. You know what I'm saying? You normally can include BYU, Allen, and Scott in like a conversation, maybe close to now, like September, November, October, when it comes to college football, right? But maybe not for college basketball.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, BYU is that sneaky good team that come tournament time causes teams problems, but right
Yeah.
now you usually don't talk about them. And when it comes to a big time freshman, you never talk about them. So
Right. Yeah. So as far as that's concerned, landing a big time freshman like that, AJ DeBansta, 6'9", makes his presence known, getting a lot of comparisons to like players like Tracy McGrady or Grant Hill. I got an opportunity to watch him about a week or so ago, and he has a style of play that I think is aged out in most circles, because he's a really good inside player around the hoop. He's got a good jumper, 12, 15 foot away. I've seen him shoot a 3 or 2, but I'm not saying that he's consistent at this point. But the tools that players and guys alike, look at to say, hey, this is the one that, if we draft him, early, in 2025, 26, that's something that they look at to go, hey, look, this is our project. This is a guy we could build our roster off of. And there's a couple of more. Of course, we got the Boozer twins, but of course, everybody knows about Cameron right now, who just now, I think, is somewhere averaging around like about 20, 25 points. And Koa Pete, someone I did not know about at the time. Koa Pete is in Arizona. What I'm saying, but recently won Freshman of the Week honors, if I'm not mistaken. But if somehow, some way, I think he's getting around 15.3 points, 8 rebounds. Really consistent player, but he has yet to show his full game, because right now Arizona is not where they want to be. But of course, it always takes Arizona a little bit of time to like develop their players. Now, as I see here, there are a couple left that you may not recognize. If you don't know, I'm going to go ahead and fill you in. Darren Peterson of Kansas. Of course, 18.5 points, five and a half rebounds, 3.8 assists. Played in 2 games, if I'm not mistaken, and is currently out with a hamstring injury. I can't wait till he gets a chance to make his way back onto the court. And somehow we can't forget about the opposite end, Flory Budinga. That's right, Flory Budinga, straight out of Kansas as well. Somebody else we want to keep our eye on. Out there doing the thing, rim protecting, rebounding crazy. 12 and a half points, 9.2 rebounds, 1 block. Caleb Wilson, who made his name known with his post-game interview, letting people know that he's got a Kobe-like list of people that he wants to dunk and or score on because how he felt disrespected in the McDonald's All-American game. Caleb Wilson is somebody you got to keep your eye on, fellas. As we keep it moving, the NCAA season is kind of warming up. We're getting ready to see some pretty much between 2, 3, the ACC. We're going to go ahead and get the top players going, the top teams going. It's not really necessarily a time to keep our eyes on them, but has anything jumped out on for you guys? And we can't even forget about Cayenne Anthony as well, out there at Syracuse holding it down for his dad. That's somebody else I wanted to throw a hoop on. Even though he might not be a diaper dandy, he's not necessarily the efficient point scorer like his father was. We still gotta give him some props because hey, look, it's hard to work in your father's shoes, especially at the same university as your dad, like the Boozer twins. And is there anything else you guys seeing right now from young players in this NCAA during this young NCAA season as it is?
I mean, you talked about that young roster in Arizona. They're going to get a true test tomorrow against UConn. So that's going to be a fun game to watch. I can't wait for that. North Carolina's playing great right now. I believe they have a lot of young talent too. So, yeah, I mean, shout out to – I know Jay popped in for a little bit, but shout out to his Tar Heels. They're playing good right now.
Yeah, right. And of course, yeah, Jay is definitely going to jump in. I think hopefully we have no idea where Jay is on the map right now, but I believe he's getting himself together to, come and hop in and join us. We haven't heard from him in a while, so it'd be great to hear from him.
I think the number one thing that I've noticed in college basketball is the teams playing up. Their non-conference schedule is really good. Like Michigan State's playing Kentucky tonight. Kansas is playing Duke. I mean, when you see all these teams playing up, it only makes you believe that, okay, these coaches think they have to play up to get ready for the NCAA tournament. And that's a big thing for college basketball. I've seen enough of these Division I AA schools against Purdue. I've seen enough of these Division I AA schools against Kentucky. I want to see good teams play good teams because that gives you a gauge on what these teams will be like come March. So.
Yeah.
I really like the way these coaches are scheduling up right now.
I mean, college basketball has always been like that, right? Because it really hasn't mattered. Like you've always had the tournaments. It's football is just now getting up to speed, right?
Yep.
So it's like you mentioned, it's been great games. Like was BYU UConn over the weekend.
Right.
That was a great game. But hey, the Benz is the truth, man. Watching this kid play, man. He can play, and he's going to be a real problem at the next level. I'm throwing names. People who follow college basketball will know. If you don't, you might not. And he reminds me. I'm not saying he'll be like this guy on the next level, but on the college level, kind of reminds me of Eddie Griffin.
Oh wow, yeah.
People remember him at Seton Hall. Like he's got smooth like that. He can handle the ball. A little better shooter than Eddie was.
Yeah.
But it gets to the basket just as easy. It's kind of Eddie was like, but he's got a better motor. That was the only issue Eddie had. Like the game came so easy to Eddie, it never looked like he was going 100%. With AJ, there's no question he's going 100% all the time, but it just looks so effortless. Like the against UConn, he struggled that first half, and then the second half, like he's turned it on. Next thing you know, they went from down like 14, 15 points, like it's a game. And yeah, but that kid is he's fun to watch, man.
Yeah, I give it to you. I feel exactly the same way. It's fun to watch. I'm waiting for the development that normally comes from playing in these interconference matchups, like Uncle Scott says. Like, normally we get closer to the tournament and the games kind of ramp up. But I think the main idea is that this new wave of how, the transfer portal is happening and these kids are pretty much swapping out jerseys from one another left and right. Like you got to figure out who your team is early now in the NCAA for college guys. You can't really try and play a mid-major or a D2 school and think you got something. No, you got to play Kentucky. Just like you said, Scott, you got to play Kentucky today. You got to play North Carolina today. You got to play the Floridas today, because mess around and you think you're good or you're worth something, and then you get to January and February when it really counts, and you're not going to make it. So you have to play tougher schedules or mix in tougher inter-conference schedule games, I think, a little bit earlier than we're used to seeing.
And I don't know if Bobby or Whit or Alan will agree, but Tom Izzo is the king of that. His non-conference schedule is always in the top 5 or 6 in terms of strength of schedule. He doesn't care who to play, where to play. He wants to play top notch. It doesn't matter where you play, doesn't matter when you want to play it. His teams are postseason ready when they go into the Big Ten schedule, and that's most important to get ready for the tournament. So,
yeah, I can agree with you on that one for sure, Scott. Like normally, you catch that Michigan State Tom Izzo team at like that Maui Invitational at the beginning of the season or something like that, and they look good. So yeah, and we might not know all of the names on a Michigan State team all the time, but as a team as a whole, somewhere we get to knowing them way better before February March. We know about that Michigan State team, so big shouts out to that.
One thing I've learned from watching Tom Izzo coach is that whenever he has a really, really good team, you can expect Michigan State to, at the very least, be a Sweet 16 team. From what I've seen, seen of him coaching and seeing what they can do at that school, it's like every tournament time I'm like, all right, how far is Michigan State going to get? Because Tom Izzo is one of the best college coaches of all time, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, definitely one of the best college coaches of all time. We get to seeing some really great coaches, and I think that's one of the major parts about the NCAA men's basketball. We got some really good names in college football, but there are some really, really good, like, Hall of Fame level college coaches that are still out there right now that haven't necessarily sullied their name, that are still with a certain institution. I can't wait for them. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I can't wait for them to start like being the prominent focus of these games, because of course the names change. The young men are going in and out these days, but Wham, right about now, second to none is the idea that, hey, these coaches are here to stay, or these coaches have a name. Paterno's, of course, going to be one that we're going to talk about all the time. Izzo, like you mentioned, right now I think Bruce Pearl's retiring. His son is doing Auburn right now. Like it's a mix. It's a mixed bag. So I'm really interested to catch up with this NCAA season going forward, man.
I'll give you one. I'll give you one name of a coach to watch, and Alan knows exactly where I'm going with this. It's Doug Gottlieb at Green Bay.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
No. I'm just kidding. I'm locking in. If you watch it, the last year my thing was I heard bet against Doug Gottlieb because not only does he do the radio broadcast, he also coaches his team. He's more in tune with his radio broadcast, and you can't do that as a coach. Is have a radio show and then coach your team. You can't concentrate on both. So to me, guys,
that's for the University of Green Bay. In case anybody wants to do that.
Yes. So guys like John Shire, Tom Izzo, Kelvin Sampson, they're like Hall of Fame coaches because they're 24/7. What do I got to do to improve my team? Whereas some coaches are like, okay, I'm working 6 hours a day and then that's it. And Doug Gottlieb is one. So.
Yeah. Another one that we know definitely is a guy who could have been the Lakers head coach, which we will get into the the NBA shortly. Dan Hurley, the hothead who is Dan Hurley out here still. He's still making a scene. I don't know if y'all know, but lately he's been still accosting referees. Yeah, Dan Hurley, who of course he earned the right. As he is a NCAA champion, but he is still ringing out referees as if last year was the year he won the NCAA tournament. It's been a year or two, but dang, he's still carrying that chip on his shoulder like he didn't win at all. So big shouts out to Dan Hurley at UConn. It's funny. I mentioned Dan Hurley and UConn because as we move forward, we're going to hear about UConn once again, but in a different light as we jump into my guys Allen's Gimme 5, man. NCAA version for what we're going to slide it on over to football. And Allen, so you got 5 more. What are we looking at this time?
All right. So we're going to start with the Big 12. And judging by what we saw from the playoff rankings tonight, there is a very, very slight chance. It's very small. But there is a very small chance you could get 3 Big 12 teams in the playoff. At the most 2. But if ultimate chaos was to happen, let's say all 3 of these teams went out and BYU beats Texas Tech in the Big 12 title game, you could potentially see BYU, Utah, and Texas Tech all make the playoff, which is crazy to even think about in this day and age, but there is a chance. I really like what the Big 12 is doing with these 3 teams, by the way. They're so fun to watch. Texas Tech especially is so fun to watch. If you haven't seen any of their games, go watch them. They're fun to watch. Unfortunately for South Florida, they ran into the ultimate, I don't know, buzzsaw in Navy, which was a great game, by the way. If you didn't see it, go back and watch it. Navy, unfortunately, ends South Florida's chance at a playoff spot, which now, looking at the group of 5 teams, it's gone to Tulane, surprisingly to me, which it seems like that spot's now going to come down to Tulane and North Texas for that group of 5 spot, it looks like, which kind of sucks because James Madison should be in there, but I digress. Miami, man. What can we say about Miami?
Miami.
Right now, they're ranked number 13. They're the highest ranked ACC team, which technically right now puts them in the playoff. The problem with that, though, is that right now they would not even be in their own conference championship game because there are 4 teams ahead of them, 2 of which they don't even play, Georgia Tech and Virginia, which are the top 2 teams in the ACC right now, conference-wise. You would also need, looking at the rankings here, you would need BYU and Utah to lose at least 1 game, one if not both of those teams, if they want to get an at-large bid. You would also need Auburn to beat Alabama in the Iron Bowl to potentially get in. Miami needs a lot of help. Right now, they're in the playoff on a technicality right now, but they need a lot of help if they actually want to get into the playoff this year. They're literally the only team that is in the ranking right now. They're the only team that does not control their own destiny. All the other 11 teams that are currently in the playoff control their own destiny. Miami does not. They need a lot of help to either get an at-large bid or for the ACC to completely collapse so they can get into the conference championship game. If they can get into the conference championship game, I think it's a shoo, and I think they get in. And what sucks is that the team they beat head-to-head is 4 spots ahead of them in Notre Dame, which, again, why are we even playing the games if we're not doing this? But I digress. Let's see. What else? Oh, yeah, UConn. I really like what's going on with UConn this year. For the longest time, UConn's just an afterthought. They're, ever since the Big East imploded way back when, UConn has probably been the team that has suffered the most out of that grouping because they had to go to an independent. They have not been great. Their recruiting has been awful. But seemingly in the last couple of years, they've started to revive their program a little bit. They're playing really well. They're probably one of the best home fields in the entire Group of 5, Group 6, whatever you want to call it, teams here, the independents. You had a couple one-score losses where if it goes the other way, maybe we're talking about UConn in a playoff scenario. I don't think so, but crazier things have happened. But I love seeing UConn have success right now. And all right, it's time for me to be a homer. What a great weekend for the University of Oklahoma this week. Going on the road into Tuscaloosa, beating Alabama to put themselves in control of their own destiny to get into the college football playoff. You got couple tough games left with LSU and Missouri left, but I think they can win both of those games and get in. Statement win for Brent Venables on Saturday. A lot of people before the season started calling for his job. If they go 7-5, he should be fired. 6-6, they should be fired. And you look at their 2 losses, and it's like, okay, you lose a close competitive game to Ole Miss, and you get beat down by Texas with a quarterback playing at 25% health. So, I think we're in a good spot. I'm not saying we're going to make a run. I'm not saying that. I think we have the defense to do it for sure. I think we have one of the best defenses in the league. And also, I know Champ's in the green room right now. Shout out to the University of Georgia for beating Texas. Thank you for that. I appreciate that because that means Texas is no longer in consideration, in my opinion, for a playoff spot. But yeah, I think Oklahoma probably had the best weekend in all of college football because not only do you go on the road in Tuscaloosa, tough place to play, have a statement win, but also your biggest rival lost in a blowout fashion to the University of Georgia. Again, shout out to the University of Georgia.
All right, now you done did it 2 times, so I might as well go ahead and get them ready. So since you mentioned the University of Georgia, we got to go ahead and kick it to our partner, our homie, the FOTS. That's right, friend of the show / cousin, since he's been rocking with us since almost time from the inception. We got to give it to him. He's on TikTok, he's on Instagram. You can catch up on the Sports PSP podcast or the I think it's the Undisputed GOAT podcast as well. Let's give it up. Round of applause for our guy, our homie, once again. Champ, what it do?
Hey, how y'all doing?
Man, Champ, man, we doing great. We appreciate you for sliding through, hanging with the gang right quick. Now, Champ, as an avid Bulldog, how you feeling right now about your squad, guy?
I'm feeling good going down the stretch and going to the SEC championship. I think we can, make a run at the SEC championship. I think I said this on another show, but I have to say it again. I'm not so sure we can beat Ohio State. That defense that we have is not as stifling as it was a couple of years ago. The offense is lights out. Gunnar Stockton is lights out. That offense is high power. And Mike Bobo, man, ever since he don't have the Carson Beck problem anymore, he has just let the horse off the reins and just let Gunnar Stockton and his offense have their way. Now, he'll never be mistaken for Todd Monken, which I'm still praying that the Baltimore Ravens give us our offensive coordinator back. But Mike Bobo, none of that conservative mess. He's out there airing it out like a ceiling fan every single game. So you have to admire the aggressiveness. Not to mention, man, the aggressiveness of Kirby Smart. That onside kick was gutsy. It was gutsy. He was like, hey, let's go out here and let's finish this game off and let's get up out of here. Let's just make a run at it. Glad that Alabama lost, I have to be honest with you. We may even see them in the playoffs. Hope we can get our rematch and have it. I think we legitimately will have a shot to beat them, but I'm feeling good about Georgia. The only thing I'm concerned about really is, Hayes King. When we play Georgia Tech, we play them in Atlanta this year. We played them in the Dome this year. Concerned about Hayes King a little bit. I'm really not concerned about Charlotte, but I think we can beat A&M and we can beat Georgia Tech. But I'm feeling real good about everything right about now, especially how gutsy Kirby Smart is right about now. I mean, like I stated, hate to regurgitate the same information, but that onside kick, I did not expect that. That onside kick, and for us to recover it, go right downfield and score again. Hey, and that defense is getting better, but like I said, it's not suffocating as it was a couple of years back when we had Jordan Davis and a lot of those guys, Jalen Carter there. It's not that defense. But the offense, I think we can go out there and beat anybody. Like I stated, the only thing that concerns me right now is Ohio State. I'm really concerned about how we would stop those two wide receivers that they have. I'm really concerned about that. But as far as anybody else, I think we can go on the road or stay at home and beat anybody in the country outside of Ohio State. Like I stated, that's the only team that really, really scares me right about now, because if you have to come to Athens, that's a loss unless your name is Alabama. Let's just call it what it is. If you have to come to Athens, that's a loss. So I'm pretty sure every team is hoping their lucky stars that we don't win that conference championship, because if you have to come to Athens in that tough environment, you're as good as beat. You're as good as
technically you wouldn't even get the home game because you'd be a first round bye. So it'd be one of the bowl games, which is stupid in my opinion. I don't know why they do the second round as the bowl games. That's, to me, that's stupid. First two rounds should just be home games anyway. You could actually get, I think right now they would actually give you the first round bye even without being in the SEC title game, which technically, if it ended right now, it would be A&M and Alabama. So I think you still need. I think you still need them to lose the Iron Bowl. Which, looking at how Alabama was last week, they could potentially lose that game, especially since it's a night game in Auburn. So
yeah, they gave them everything they could handle last year. So and they ain't got nothing to lose. So what better way to air you out than to get you out? So hey, but I didn't realize it was going to be Alabama. I thought it was going to be Georgia and A&M. So thank you for correcting me.
They only have one loss. Their second loss was to Florida State, which I think personally that should put them outside of the playoff because Florida State is awful. But that's what it is. What it is.
It's Notre Dame. They drive college football. That's the whole thing. They drive college football. If they're 10-2, they're going to get in no matter what. That's the whole thing that I think.
Yeah, and I'm right there with you, Uncle Scott. As I take a look back at the rankings and some games from this past weekend. So of course, man, I will be remiss as a South Carolinian to not talk about the number 3 Texas A&M versus South Carolina game. What a barn burner! 30-31. Texas A&M, of course, trailed 30-3 at halftime. Storm back for the largest comeback in program history. Pretty much deserving of the victory with the 10-0 record. But to see the display of what took place off the field was kind of took away from the Texas A&M lore. I hate stuff like that, man. First of all, let's just go ahead and call a spade a spade. We have sheriffs and patrol officers who are on the field at every stadium to help protect those who are on the field from people on the sidelines or from people in the stands. Every stadium has them. And, some of those officers are some of our finest officers and patrolmen that each state has. And just so happened that one decided to make it about him this past weekend as he bumped the into the wide receiver after he what was like a 67-yard touchdown, if I'm not mistaken. And out of nowhere, now as he's grabbing his hamstring because he just took off running, almost ran his leg off. He bumps into the state trooper, or the state trooper bumps into him, causes a scene, points at him, or costs him. The teammates got to come pull him apart, basically, from it possibly escalating further with words. And one of the narratives besides Texas A&M's largest comeback in program history is this officer who has to be suspended with pay, I believe, and can no longer participate in sidelines security. This is wild to me, but I mean it is something that happens. So I would be remiss to not mention it. Also, you know what I'm saying? Big shouts out to, like we talked about, Georgia and Texas. That whooping was one thing. Oklahoma, shout out to you, Alan. Of course, Oklahoma 23, no, Alabama 21. That was a really close one. Ole Miss and Florida. I have to mention that, of course, the Lane Kiffin Bowl has begun. Okay, of course, Ole Miss 34, Florida 24. Right now, Ole Miss is sitting pretty at number 6, but I saw something on Twitter. You can't believe everything on Twitter, but the Florida Gator private jet was seen in Georgia at a private airport, which is located close to, guess who? Anybody want to guess? It's not in Florida.
Mississippi.
It's not in Mississippi. It's not. That's a good one. It's not in Mississippi, but we're gonna go close to Georgia Tech. Now, I don't know if you've been living under a rock, but Georgia Tech's head coach is actually right now looking for a larger payday. Right now, Georgia Tech football has been. I'm not going to say it hasn't been what it used to be, but it is coming up a little bit. Right now, of course, Brent Key has been doing an awesome job bringing the Yellow Jackets into prominence as he has been there recently, and the league has been brought back to the surface when they play those top games, those top contenders. So Brent Key right now, who also has been related to multiple positions when it comes to both Vanderbilt and Auburn at one point in time. He's been out there since 2022 and actually has been, doing a really, really good job, and even played for Georgia Tech back between 97 and 2000. So, although he is, from the alma mater and represents the school very well, he maybe it's not enough. Greener pastures, green and orange pastures. If we just talk about Georgia,
See this. Let me ask everybody. This is a problem I have with college sports. If a coach is coaching at a school, they should not be contacted by another school until their season is done. Like James Franklin just got hired by Virginia Tech. He was already done, so that's fine. But if somebody is at another institution, leave them alone till their season's over, because now you get all these rumors going around. Now these coaches take other jobs because they get more money, and now that they leave their teams high and dry for the bowls. And Georgia Tech, if they get in the ACC championship game, have a good shot to get in the playoff if they win. So to me, I don't like these schools like going after Lane Kiffin, guys from Georgia Tech, any school. Just leave them alone till the season's over. I think the NCAA needs to put a rule in saying that. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but that's how I feel about it.
Oh, they want them rules to only apply to the kids. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And the thing is, when these coaches leave, they get a fat old buyout, even if they decide to leave. And that's just what that is. Because the thing is now, there needs to be a lot. If you're going to put a lot of restrictions on these kids on getting their money when they're able to transfer, then there has to be restriction on these coaches.
Yep.
I mean, people complain about NIL, but long before NIL was even a thing, as we all know, ignorance is bliss, because we all knew these guys were getting paid on the table for years. Let's not pretend about that. But since these young men have come in here and young ladies have been coming in and making their money, there's been a lot of talk about there needs to be restrictions on NIL. There needs to be restrictions on the transfer portal. Okay, but my coach, he can leave, get a fat old buyout, or get fired and get a fat old buyout. And guess what? He could go to another team and get a fatter check and get to keep his buyout.
Right.
But I have to earn my scholarship all over again because this guy either went to another school or went to the NFL in order to coach, and my scholarship's in jeopardy, and I have to earn it all over again. A new coach is coming in that may not be a big fan of mine. I have to readjust myself all over again, and people are complaining about my NIL money that I just got paid. I only got paid probably $300,000. This guy just got paid $59 million for his buyout because you decided to fire him. So they only want the rules to apply for these young men and women who are getting paid. They don't want to apply to the grown folks. Unfortunately, it's kind of like being at the table with a lot of your parents and your aunts and uncles. Yeah, they want you to be able to. They want grown people responsibility with kid accountability. So they're not going to do that to these coaches. And these coaches are already talking about, so well, there's no job security here. Well, guess what? There's no job security for these young kids. If they do so much as wipe their behind sideways, guess what? They lose their scholarship and they lose their NIL money. So guess what? If it doesn't have to be a guarantee for them in order to get their education, in order to keep their scholarship, in order to keep their NIL money, then guess what? There should be requirements for you. You can't have grown man money with child accountability. That's just my thing. And they're not going to do that until there's accountability around the board. I don't want to hear anything else about how NIL is ruining college football, how the transfer portal is ruining college football, because these coaches, especially when you talk about a guy like Bobby Petrino, they get to go in and out of programs, get paid large dollars, leave pro teams high and dry, and get huge buyouts from their teams, and then go right back to college and get even fatter contract and get chance after chance after chance in order to redeem themselves. And everybody knows that they are not who they say they are, and they just get to have chance after chance after chance. Meanwhile, these kids, especially back in the day, used to get ran through the mud just because they accepted a $500 watch from a booster. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to hear anything about these coaches about we don't have no job security. You get a fat buyout, you get all of these contracts, and guess what? That kid has to earn everything he's given. So I don't want to hear anything from these coaches talk about job security. You got that buyout in the contract. You don't want to get fired. You don't go to get released. Win. Guess what? That's what you tell these kids every single day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as someone who's personally gone through that in recent years, yeah, I 100% agree with that. 100% agree with that. Supposedly, and I just found this out today, supposedly Lane Kiffin's family is looking for real estate in Florida. So that's a rumor I heard today. So that's also stuff that's like it's stupid. Like Scott said, it's like, why are we even talking to these coaches at this point? The scenario I went through was for weeks and weeks on end, Lincoln Riley denied that he was going to LSU because there was a lot of talks that he was getting talked to by LSU, and they wanted him to replace Les Miles before they went and got the guy they just fired. I can't even remember his name right now. And from what the report said is that not only was Lincoln Riley planning on leaving Oklahoma that year, he had been talking to USC as early as the Texas game. So he was already halfway through the season. He was already planning on leaving. Didn't tell anybody in the organization. Didn't tell any of his players. Wasn't even going to tell his players that he took the job at USC. He was just going to take the next plane out and go. Like, wasn't even going to say anything to his players. Wasn't even going to say anything to the administration. Nothing. Until Bob Stoops dragged his ass into that locker room and said, you need to tell these kids what you're going to do. They shouldn't have to find out through social media and through the mainstream media.
Hell,
so yes, Lincoln Riley got a fat check, but he got his ass embarrassed on the way out of Oklahoma. And he is more hated than Kevin Durant in the state of Oklahoma.
Nobody's hated more than Kevin Durant. Alan, what are you talking about?
No. Lincoln Riley is hated more than Kevin Durant in the state of Oklahoma.
Well, he got that
because of the way he handled himself. The fact that he was pretty much talking to USC since like week 5 of the season. So there was already deals being put in place for him to take over that job even like halfway through the season. Not only that, you're taking Caleb Williams with you because he's more committed to play for Lincoln Riley than he is playing for the school. He's the whole reason why our quarterback room has sucked the last 3 years.
Yeah, it's one of those situations that was wild. You know, it was for me. You know, the Lincoln Riley situation was one where okay, the writing was on the wall, but like maybe we were still in denial about what may or may not happen. But I would be remiss to say, hey, look, you know, the money was right, the situation was right, and he took the money in the situation. I can't even lie about that. But look at this, guys.
Like, nobody had any clue he was leaving. Like nobody had any clue he was leaving. There was talks that he was going to LSU, but no one had a clue. He didn't tell anybody.
And he waited until the NIL transfer portal thing was official so he could actually get the quarterback he wanted.
No.
Anyway, guys, check this out.
He didn't want to go to LSU because he didn't want to be in the SEC. He didn't want to stay in Oklahoma because he didn't want to be in the SEC. So he's like, I'll go to a lesser conference in the Pac-12. Oh, wait, they got bought out by the Big Ten. Sorry, Lincoln.
Yeah, so you tried to run from the SEC and then went to an even worse situation where you can't win.
That's what I'm saying. And look at this. They're not even in the conference that he was going to start in the first place. So now, oh well, you when your chickens come home to roost, you better get.
It's funny because if they beat Oregon this weekend, they can be a playoff team.
No chance. No chance USC's a playoff team. Zero chance.
No, they're saying that if they beat Oregon, USC could likely jump Miami.
The way the committee has gone in the history is Oregon is not going to get knocked out of the playoff because of they're going to make the Big Ten championship game. They're not going to beat Ohio State, but they're going to make the Big Ten championship game. So I
they don't play Indiana, Scott. They don't play Indiana.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think the committee's going to take 3 Big Ten teams. That's the whole thing. They'd rather take Texas over USC any day to make another SEC team get into the playoff. That's the whole thing. The SEC's running this. Notre Dame and the SEC's running this college football playoff thing. In my mind.
Oh, guys. Guess what? We have reached past the first hour already. It's crazy. I can't believe it, yo. So guess what? We got to make sure we run it down for everybody so they know what's going on, y'all. Of course, if you're tuning in, it's your boy K with your mama's #1 draft pick. This is the RecRoom Sports Show, so make sure you are following us, liking us, and sharing us on all social media platforms. We got the gang in the building, of course, so we got our guy, AP Alan Perales in the building. Alan, what's going on? We appreciate you showing up. Shout out to you. No on the mat tonight, but you do have Lock It In this weekend. What else you got going on for your shows?
What? No on the mat? What? Oh, my God. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the thing. But yeah, Lock It In this weekend. Sam unfortunately has had a sick child, so gotta take care of family first, right? Family always comes first, and I 100% respect that. So hopefully we'll get to go back at it next week. Tomorrow we're going to talk some baseball with myself, Jonathan, and Scott. And then, like you said, Lock It In this weekend, Sunday night post-game show, Sunday night. So should be good.
Wow, okay. Yeah, hey, hope everything goes right for Sam and that little babies. I know that they're his world. So big shouts out to them. Then, of course, we got our guy, Bobby G from Audible Sports Podcast. Bobby G, I know you're doing your thing. What kind of shows you got coming up this week? You got, your post-game show. You got your Friday show. What you got going on, bro?
Both of them, yeah. Thursday night post-game. After the game, catch B, Wildcard Mar, and Averill, just the girl. She doesn't want to be known as the chess girl currently.
She dropped
the Jets. And, Friday tune in for the original Audible Sports Podcast where sports meets life and culture. Interesting conversations. Just please don't talk to me about reps. I don't want to hear another word about reps. I don't care about reps. I don't care who gets the reps. I don't care who's not getting the reps. I don't want to know who's getting the reps. I don't want to know who is going to get the reps in the future. I don't want to hear about reps. Please and thank you.
Wow. I didn't know that was. I didn't know that's where we were going, but yeah. It's crazy, dog. It's crazy. Champ, you know you in the building, man. Of course, you are on a plethora of things. Go ahead and run us down the rest of your schedule. What you looking like?
We on the Sports PSP podcast this Friday as usual, and then Undisputed GOAT podcast this coming Sunday. May do a surprise show during the week, but you just may never know. Shout out to BRF and Flash and PSP, man. The Fantastic Four, y'all know what it is, man.
Yeah, of course, man, and of course, Uncle Scott, man. We appreciate you for stopping in. You hanging with the gang like you always do. What you got going on, brother?
I got nothing going on. I'm a free agent this week. Anybody want to pay me to come on this show? I'm here for you. No, baseball show tomorrow night with Alan and Jonathan. Hot stove number 2. Lock it in this weekend, and then the Sunday night post game show after the NFL game. Well, that's if it's a good NFL game. We're not sure yet. So
Yeah, we're kind of lost in the sauce about that one, but we appreciate you for stopping it, Uncle Scott. Hey, look, Champ, we got some more football to talk. You want to stay in for the basketball?
Might as well. Let's do it.
There we go. I love the enthusiasm, man. Champ is going to hang with us as we get into the second hour right about now. So, bruh, the NBA season is starting off to me like no other. I don't know if it's just because I missed the NBA, if it, like what's been going on. I don't know if it's the trades. I really don't know what it is. But right now seems to be one of the hotter starts to the NBA season where the points are up, the viewership is up. I don't know what streaming service to watch basketball on right now, but I don't know if I got to watch it on freaking YouTube TV, which they just got back with ESPN. Of course, now they got some basketball on Prime. They got basketball on Peacock. We got LeBron coming back. I mean, they got Carmelo Anthony, Tracy McGrady, and Jay Crossover on Peacock. Like, it's so much basketball to kind of keep my mind going right now. But right now, guys, I want y'all to do me a big favor as we focus on the Wild West. That's right. The NBA's Western Conference is wide open, and it's ridiculous in my mind to think that normally every season we can pick about 3 teams that are somewhere in the top, and we can go, man, you can go ahead and shut the Western Conference down. They're going to be there. This is going to be the 2 or 3 teams. This is going to how the matchup is, and sometimes we're right. This season, right now, I don't know, bro. I don't think we can really put a hat on a hat at the moment and give it up. So as we think about the wild west of the Western Conference, and please, yes, I know there's like a duplicate up here. Once again, somehow, some way, let's go ahead and get into it. The wild west of the Western Conference. Let's go ahead and start at the top of the ball, where most people always begin with. Right now, the Lakers, gentlemen, are sporting players that we have never seen or heard of. Some of them, which we know came from other places and other situations where they were the star, and now they're the star here in LA. LeBron James is out. He's coming back. Bronny James started again. Like, what's going on with the Lakers right now? This is a new iteration of LA. This is a new iteration of Los Angeles. How are we getting to this where this and we still don't know if this is LeBron last year, but we're getting to the point where the Lakers, without their star player or their star for the last maybe half a decade, are still ascending to a top tier Western Conference team. Who wants to go first on that one?
I love the way Austin Reeves is playing for the Lakers. I think he's bailed them out of situations this season so far that they got into. So Luka's going to be Luka, but I think Austin Reeves is the MVP of that team right now because he's been phenomenal all season long. So when LeBron gets back and gets fully invested and involved into the scheme, they're gonna have a big 3 in LA. Not saying they're gonna beat Oklahoma City, not saying they're gonna beat Denver, but they could be in the next, with Minnesota in terms of in the playoffs. So I love the way the Lakers are playing with Austin Reeves right now.
Yeah, I can agree with you. the Lakers with Austin Reeves, Luka, somehow some way to get DeAndre Ayton involved, where he's not just looking disconnected from the offense. Rui Hachimura is doing great. Like it's really odd to see the ball not be centered around LeBron and Luka coming back in shape. I think has a lot to do with this. And we, last year, not just on this show, but on In the Hoop, we chronicled it from top to bottom, right, Bobby? We talked about the trade with Nico. We let him know we kind of divested our time into figuring out what could be next for the Dallas Mavericks, and we'll get into that later. But right now, I feel like the Lakers didn't lose out on anything. Bobby,
No, you can't lose when you get the best player in the trade.
There you go. Okay.
But I mean, let's not act like LeBron hasn't been trying to pass the torch for like 3 years. Anthony Davis just wouldn't take it. One, he wouldn't take it. Two, he couldn't stay on the court long enough to take it. Like, he's been trying to do this. He's been trying to not have to be the best player every night. Unfortunately, it took him to be hurt and for them to go out and get a Luka Doncic and for the rest of these guys to step up. Now that these guys have been empowered to do so and they see what they can do as a collective, now let's see how old LeBron, now it's his turn to take some advice he once gave Kevin Love once upon a time. Don't fit out, fit in. Come back and be 40-year-old LeBron. You don't have to be young LeBron. You don't have to be Miami Heat LeBron. You don't have to be Cavs LeBron. Just come in, fill your role during whatever role needs to be done. Play that second fiddle, play that third fiddle if need be. And come playoff time, lead, not by scoring, lead with experience. Teach these dudes how to win. Luka's proven he can take a team to the mountaintop. Show him how to get over the hump. That's it. That's all you got to do, bro. And then next season, ride off into the sunset. Get your farewell tour on, and maybe you might get you one more of them things. Who knows? If something miraculously happens to the entire Oklahoma City Thunder roster. But yeah, that's about the best you can expect from the Lakers. Yeah, they're playing good enough ball to where they can potentially finish. I'll give them a 4 seed, maybe.
Wow.
If they continue to do this, and if LeBron, like I say, comes in and doesn't try and do too much, and if he does, I think Luka has enough cachet to tell him to go sit your old ass down.
I was about to say, but that's not bad. Is the point 4th right now for the Lakers when they were projected to be even lower than that at this point in the season. Prior to now, we weren't even thinking about 4th. Let's go to another team that I want to, of course, Alan. I know.
I was gonna say that's. I agree, Bobby. I think that's the only way the Lakers can maintain this is if LeBron takes that secondary role. Like, if he does come back and wants to be that guy again, because right now,
like I said, I think you can because
right now the Lakers are playing great. They're playing with good chemistry. They're playing great offense. They're playing good defense. They have great team chemistry right now. If LeBron comes in as like, I want to be the guy that carries this team, that's gonna kill the vibe in that Laker locker room, and that will kill any momentum they have.
I agree. He's been trying, man. He was supposed to lead the Lakers to that one chip, which he did, and then he was supposed to be carried by Anthony Davis for the rest. Anthony Davis just couldn't take the baton.
Yeah,
and had to get him up out of there.
And this is what I want to throw before we go on to the next team. I want to kind of briefly cover. I just want to throw this out there, and I'm pretty sure nobody saw this coming. Jake LaRavia. No, Jake LaRavia. Okay, y'all know what I'm talking about. Number 12 for the Lakers. If you haven't been paying attention, somehow Jake LaRavia has snuck under the radar and is taking that forward that stretch forward position that every once in a while they've been rotating. What's my guy Rui Hachimura in on? They thrown in Jake LaRavia, and he's looking real Tony Kukoc like. Okay, but
Yeah, he averaged 10.4 points a game.
yeah, and during at the beginning of the season, the joke was when the Lakers played the Timberwolves, the arena was so quiet, but everybody was yelling to Ant-Man, "Hey, who's number 12?" Ant-Man yelled back, "I don't know." Nobody knew who Jake LaRavia is, but we got to give him some props as he has been represented. Let's keep it going. So another team that I want to talk about, and Alan, I thought you were going to say something else, but I'm gonna let you get yours in a minute. The defending champs. What are we talking about when it comes to once again seeing how Nikola Jokic continues to dominate with dang near every other triple double on the night, and Jamal Murray's resurgence as well. And I really feel like Aaron Gordon was the missing piece in one of the times in which I think the Nuggets were looked upon as a team that could not win. The Nuggets are still a team to reckon with at this point in time. So let's go ahead and give them a moment. But the part that I want to have a conversation about, or one of the teams I want to have a conversation about real quick, in comparison to other great dominant franchises, I just want to throw this out there. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not comparing the two as if apples to apples. This is kind of apples to oranges. Y'all remember the second iteration of the Bulls, where there's no Horace Grant. We kind of insert Tony Kukoc a little more. Scottie Pippen began to eventually, play without Jordan, so we got to see more Scottie Pippen, and then Jordan does come back, and then the team looks totally different. I want to ask you guys, though. I want to ask, especially Bobby right here, right? So, Bobby, this iteration of the Golden State Warriors, right? Steph is still lethal from deep. Right now, we've figured out, somehow, some way that Draymond Green does age and is growing, but of course, we still got the pieces around them to kind of give them a bit of an edge. And then we're kind of seeing the growth of a player like Jonathan Kuminga, who's getting into his own. Like, this is kind of shifting away from Steph being the star, but Steph still being the star. Is this similar to the teams going, on a different page, similar to what the Bulls did when Jordan came back?
No, not at all. No. Number one, the Bulls didn't have anything like the Oklahoma City Thunder sitting in front of them.
Okay. See, we say it too many times. Alan's going to go on a rant. Please don't say Oklahoma City.
I mean, I'm sorry, but it's true. Like, you didn't have anything like that. That's like saying, a comparison shouldn't even be like Mike coming back to the Bulls. It should be, okay, Rocky beat Clubber Lang just to stand up and look at Ivan Drago. That's the comparison. Like, because that's what it's like. The Warriors, I mean, they're not, nah. Because Steph ain't Jordan, Kuminga ain't Pippen, Draymond ain't Rodman. Like, no. And they're not even playing for second seed, third seed. Hell, the way the Lakers are playing, you're not playing for the fourth seed. If Anthony Edwards gets some help, you're not playing for the fifth seed. Like, nah. It's like, no, this ain't this ain't nothing like that. I don't control the comments, bro. But I tell you what, if I did, I'd put your mama on the screen. That's what happened.
God damn. Hey, what? Yeah.
What? What is going on? What is going on? What is going on around here, bro?
If you comment, you sharing as much as you comment, and we appreciate it. Let's put it like if you share as much as you comment, I don't care what you say. If you got other people watching this show right now, keep it going. I would be remiss not keep it moving and go, okay, so Alan, it's your time to shine. Okay. We know what's going on, brother. We see it. We see it every year. Right now, Oklahoma City is out here making it happen, still somehow, some way, with not even the slightest of roster change. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander playing at an AVP level earlier. Chet Holmgren playing defense like he lost his mind. The depth, the pace. What else can we get from out of this OKC roster right now, brother?
You know what the sad part about this is? J-Dub hasn't even played yet.
Wow. What?
So your second best player hasn't even touched the court, and you're 14-1. You have the best defensive PPR in the NBA right now, and it's not even close. Shea has now had 87 straight games where he scored 20 points or more, dating back to last year. That is almost unheard of. Chet is starting to figure it out. Oh, and by the way, we got guys coming off the bench who are playing like starters. AJ Mitchell, Alex Caruso. We got a whole nother NBA team on the bench right now. It was sad about this. We're obviously in contention, obviously a favorite to win an NBA title this year. And what's even worse with this, we could have the number 1 pick in the draft. Because we have 2 top 10 protected first-round picks. One from the Clippers, and I believe one from either the Pacers or somebody else. So you could see the best player in college basketball going to OKC, a team that might win back-to-back championships.
So
also, shout out to Sam Presti, who was inducted into the Oklahoma Hall of Fame this past week.
So wait, Alan, are you in the mood to tell us right now that Oklahoma City Thunder could repeat right now?
You tell me.
I think they're the best team in the NBA, not just the Western Conference, but in the entire NBA. And the only team that's close to them is the Denver Nuggets.
Wow.
I don't see any other team knocking them from their pedestal. And I know Jay's going to say Portland, but that was a fluke. Let's be honest. That was a fluke.
Yo, hey, do you think that Sam Presti is the new Jerry Krause?
I mean, he could be better.
As far as how great of a general manager he is, I'll say.
Jerry Krause?
I mean,
that's a good one right there.
I think he took that experience from having Harden, Westbrook, and KD. Obviously, it was a big mistake not keeping those guys in-house. And the fact that he turned a Seattle Supersonics trade way back when, and all of a sudden went all the way to, oh, now we're going to trade Paul George for SGA and get all these first-round picks, all this talent. Magnificent job. Probably the quickest turnaround in NBA history.
Mind you, they were still making the playoffs after Paul George and Russell Westbrook left. They were still making the playoffs because they had CP3. So it was never for them to be a small market team. There's never been a time in their illustrious history where they were irrelevant. They were always in playoff contention. They just took off into the stratosphere. They had enough for them, for their fans, I would say, in order to say, okay, be patient. Be patient. We getting everything together. We're gonna feed you, these little appetizers at first. That meaning the playoffs. Now we finna feed you the entree. So yeah, I really think that they did a hell of a job. That's why I called him Jerry Krause, because he was able to, advertise them at first, and then now you fed them the turkey. Now you got their belly full. Now it's time to feed you again for second helpers on this second NBA title.
Man, yeah, but the Orlando Magic GM is a little bit better though.
and we'll get a chance to see.
You know what helps with that too, Champ, is that you ask any NBA player, current or who recently retired, say what is the loudest place we've ever played in. Yes, people will say Madison Square Garden, but 9 times out of 10 they're going to say Oklahoma City.
Now, before they took them cowbells out of Sacramento, now that's a whole other thing.
Mm.
But I digress. It's crazy that we're talking about all of these teams, but teams like Utah got somehow got Lauri Markkanen out here averaging 30. We got to see what's going to happen with a team like the Phoenix Suns, as Devin Booker still continues to strap the Suns on his back and try to make it happen. What's going to go on with the Timberwolves this season as we see Ant-Man, get to come in and still is hot somewhat from his playoff performances. They're still trying to do a little 1-2 with him and Randall. And then of course the firing of who just got fired. It was on the tip of my tongue as I was saying. Willie Green got fired from New Orleans. And now, of course, they're going to be in a state of flux as we started to slowly see their team come together. But this is how we're going to close this one out, fellas, because we got to keep it going because we're halfway through that second hour. So we got to get to the Week 11 stuff in the NFL, right? One of the wildest things I saw at the beginning of the season was this team that is the Houston Rockets displayed the tallest overall starting 5 ever put onto a court, as we saw players like Alperen Şengün, Kevin Durant get out there and somehow, some way make it look easy. Amen Thompson, Jabari Smith Jr., Reed Shepherd. Like, these guys went out there and they acquired talent, but at the same time they acquired high level talent, not just anybody. They got really good players who can dang near switch to every position. And let's not forget about Ime Udoka guiding the team to a fast start. Because of course, if Ime Udoka didn't have any of those silly things happen to him that involve his personal life and famous women, we're not gonna go into it. Y'all know what we're talking about. The team would be in a different place. Maybe even the Celtics would be in a different place if none of that had happened before. We won't even get into that. What about the Rockets right now, fellas? And let's go. I'm gonna jump right to you right now, Bobby, with this one. The Rockets look good, look bad. The sky's the limit. How do you feel about the Houston Rockets right now as they go forward?
Oh yeah, they look good. They're playing good basketball. The defense is going to be on point, but once again, I think the thing that's going to hurt them come crunch time is lack of a true point guard. I think that Fred VanVleet injury is going to come back to haunt them. Like for whatever reason, I don't know what it is. The basketball gods cursed Kevin Durant, but ever since leaving Golden State, he can't keep a point guard next to him.
Can't keep a point guard.
Yeah, like Kyrie couldn't stay healthy in Brooklyn. In Phoenix, they just seem to think that they never needed one. And as soon as he gets to Houston, right before the season starts, VanVleet goes down. So, and at some point in time, you're going to need somebody to set up an offense, and the game plan can't just be get KD the ball and get out of the way. You're going to need somebody to put people in the right places, decide who's hot man, make sure such gets touches and run the offense. Mm-hmm. So I know people like to believe those positionless basketball and all this. Really look at the list of last champions. They all have point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center. So you can believe that positionless stuff. Champions say otherwise. So
yeah, okay, I dig that. And now that you made mention of it, I forgot all about Kyrie being down in Brooklyn, and then of course,
the debacle in Phoenix.
He couldn't find a point guard at all in Phoenix. The last time he had a point guard was in Golden State, or so it is what it is. But I'm excited to see what goes on with the Western Conference right now. You got to tune in next week when we get into the Eastern Conference, which for some reason normally never has really a standard for who's going to make it out. especially as the last few years included teams like the Indiana Pacers and the New York Knicks. But they too are in a state of flux right now. So join us next week as we cover the Eastern Conference in the 2025 NBA season. All right. So once again, we're getting ready to go ahead and jump back in with our homegirl. That's right, Miss April. Miss April, you ready? Here you go. I'm about to click on it. Whoop. All right. Thank you for jumping in, April. And ladies and gentlemen, in the background, there is a gentleman that we have not gotten a chance to speak with in a while. I'm going to wait for him to jump in so I can know that he's aware that we're going to bring him into the show. So I'm going to give us a minute. But, we might as well go ahead and get into it, y'all. You know how we do. It's the favorite time of the show where we get into
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth topic. The fifth topic.
That's right, y'all. We're getting into the fifth topic. It's the topic. We get almost close to the top of the hour, so we're going to do this a little quickly. But we still got a little more to go because I really want to hear what everybody's got to say about that last part, that what we're going to call our extra point for today. But the fifth topic is Week 11 in the NFL was a doozy. I'm talking about, like, I really can't explain to you that I saw some teams that I thought were top tier get put into their place. I saw some teams that we did not necessarily think that were going to be in the race, in the contention this week, show up and show out. We got to see Allen's defense for the Dallas Cowboys do their little 1-2 for the first time in a while. I'm excited to talk about this one, fellas. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Let's go ahead, man. Champ. I don't know, bro. As you represent the Georgia area strongly, talk about the Bulldogs. Looking at what has gone on with your Atlanta Falcons, where is it coming from? What is going on, bro? What's happening?
I think Raheem Moore said it best. There's no such thing as a losing team, only losing leadership. And he'll know he on the way up out of the door at this point. Listen, Atlanta Falcons are the most disappointing team this year in the NFL. The most disappointing by far. You have, look, that defense, 1 week, it started off earlier in the year. 1 week that defense will play like it's just lights out. The very next week it will play just lackluster. It will play out to the competition. And eventually that catches up with you. At times they'll run Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier the way they're supposed to. And then the very next game, they'll start slipping. And the defense, for the most part, have done their job, but it's getting worse and worse every week. There's too much talent on this team for us to be this bad as far as record. You are what your record says you are. And right now, look, the Denver Broncos are first in the league in sacks. Do you know who's second in the league in sacks right now? The Atlanta Falcons. They're second in the league in sacks right now. Bijan Robinson is sixth in the league in rushing. Drake London is top 10 in the league in receiving yards. There's a lot that Michael has to work on with after he gets back from his injuries, if he's able to get back from it. But there's so much wrong with this franchise right about now as far as, and you have to blame it on coaching because you have the personnel. It'd be different if we didn't have the personnel, but you have the personnel. You just don't have the coaching. The play calling on the offensive side of the ball is very, very predictable. You know when you get into the pistol formation, if they line them both up if they line them both up in the backfield at the same time, that means Tyler Algier and Bijan Robinson. Bijan is going to turn up and run that motion to the right, and they're going to throw the ball to him. You know it already. You know it's coming. And if I am a guy who's sitting here watching it on television and I know that play is coming, then guess what? You know the defense does. They run that play at least 8 times a game. I've memorized that play. You know it's going to be John. So the only person that should be on this staff next year whose job should be safe at this point is Jeff Orbert, the defensive coordinator. That's the only guy on this staff that should be safe at this point. The only one. Everybody else, you got to leave. Got to leave. We need some hard-nosed coaching in there. We haven't had a true coach in Atlanta, a true head coach, not one of these little defensive coordinators, not one of these little offensive coordinators. We have not had a true head coach since Dan Reeves. We have not had a true coach since Dan Reeves. So there has to be a lot of changes in Atlanta, man. How many of these coordinators that you're going to hire? You've hired, out of every new hire since Dan Reeves have left, you have hired a defensive coordinator. You hired Jim Moore. You hired Mike Smith. You hired Dan Quinn. You skipped a generation and hired Arthur Smith, which that was a disaster because they didn't realize that, hey, the muscle behind the way he was able to call plays in Tennessee was because he had Derrick Henry. He was basically run Derrick Henry to the right, run Derrick Henry to the left, and guess what? Every now and then when Derrick Henry gets tired, throw the ball. It was real. It was reminiscent of Earl Campbell and Dan Pastorini. It was very, very reminiscent of that. Run the ball to the right, run the ball to the left. Hey, you tired? Okay, I'll throw a few. So there's a lot that needs to be desired. Right now, it's sad when the Panthers have caught up with us. The Panthers. Bryce Young is having his best games against us. He's thrown in the Falcons games alone. He's thrown for over 600 yards and 3 touchdowns. We got shellacked the first time, and then the second time let the other one get away. It is bad in closing that when a team gives up a lead, it is named after you. Whenever a team gives up a lead, I don't care what sport it is, whether it's hockey, whether it's football, whether it's baseball. You know what they call that? They call that falconing. And for right now, we need to change our name from the Falcons to the Falcons because you can't do nothing right, boss. That's my rant for today.
You tell me. You tell me.
Dang, champ! I didn't know you was gonna do him like that, bro. I had no clue that's what. I mean, I know. We gonna get to this, but I didn't know you was going there right now. Appreciate it.
Look, Tim, do you feel better? Because you look like you feel better. Do you feel better?
You know what, champ? We got a button for that. You know what it says?
Sell team. Sell the team.
Yes, yes, champ. This might be time. It might be time. We gotta sell the team. Bobby G, you know, your week 11 thoughts might be a little different from champs because, of course, as we get into what we're going to get into, man, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over because we got a little bit of time left, and champ kind of started it off. We might as well do it, man. Everybody's got a little something they want to say. So the extra point during this one is get on your soapbox, bro. Champ did it first. We got a little box right here under the street light with a microphone, one for everybody. And we might as well let Bobby G go ahead and start off with your week 11 soapbox. Bobby G, what you got for us?
Don't come talking to me about TJ Watt, Micah Parsons, Patrick Surtain, Joey Bosa brother, nephew, or cousin. I want to hear about who's that Allen? Nick Benito. I don't want to hear about him. Myles Garrett is the best defensive player in the NFL, period.
You tell me. You tell me.
End of discussion. That's it. There's no further debate. There is Myles Garrett. There are 5 spaces, and then there's the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and whoever you got. But second ain't even close. Like Myles Garrett is just on a different level. And he's like, the crazy thing is he hasn't even reached the top of his potential. Like he can still get better, and that's crazy to think of. 4 sacks in a game on Lamar Jackson. Come on. Like I said, all of I'm saying is I said it. I believe I said it on here. I tried to say it on as many platforms as I could. Coming into the season, I said Myles Garrett's going to break the sack record. So far, he's proven me right. He's got 7 games to go. He needs 8 sacks. My hope is that he can do it in the 16 because I don't want him to have that asterisk. I want him to get in the 16 so he can be on par with the best to ever do it. But if it takes 17 to take it, I hope he smashes it if it does take 17. Like, remember the Titan, leave no doubt. But yeah, Myles is it, man.
Wow.
Who is his historic equivalent? Would you compare him to Reggie White, or would you compare him to Lawrence Taylor? Who would you compare him to historically, considering how dominant that he is? Not just this year. Yeah. Remember, Myles Garrett is one of the most double-team players, defensive players in the league at this point. So who would you compare him to historically, OG?
Honestly, right now, I think he's at the point where he's Myles Garrett. Like, and me and Mark were having this conversation the other day. It's like right now, you know how I mean, we all talk sports and we do the thing. Hey, if you could build the perfect quarterback or this person, you take this. Hey, I'll take Magic's pass and then Bird's jump shot and Jordan's that. Like, if I could build the perfect pass rusher, I would literally just take Myles Garrett. Like, he's more athletic than LT. He's as strong as Red. Like, you don't need to take pieces. Just take Myles Garrett.
I don't know if he's good as if he's as athletic as LT when LT is on that
boogie sugar.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's yeah. But the dude literally jumped over a human being. Only other person to do that in the game is Vince Carter.
Oh yeah, he do got the windmill now. I seen him do the windmill in a celebrity game, so he could definitely do that, man.
Like, I'm pretty sure there was a time, I can't remember because this was so long ago, but I'm pretty sure there was a time in last year's game when we went to Cleveland that we had 3 guys trying to block him.
Yeah,
and he still almost got to that.
Yeah, that was this.
Yeah, I think the only modern day equivalent to him would be Aaron Donald. Because of how dominant Aaron Donald was. He's the greatest defensive tackle of all time to me.
Yeah.
You could definitely throw that out there, Aaron Donald's.
Yeah, if you just kept it to the edge, though, I think the only one would be it'd be Reggie, him and Reggie.
You think he has a chance to break that record, OG?
The way he's going, man. He's having
he already has 117 sacks already. He surpassed like a little bit of everybody. He even passed one of the guys who I admire, although he played for the Aints. He even passed Pat Swilling in sacks.
Yeah, he definitely has a chance. And I mean, in this era, and like the crazy thing about it is, like, I know, like, people to think is all the Browns are so bad, like he's wasting his talent. Like, that actually even makes it more impressive. He's been on a bad team, so the opportunities to get sacks, because he's been losing so much, so teams don't have to pass. Like, imagine if we were winning and teams actually did have to pass against us. It's crazy.
So it's like Cortez Kennedy's 92 year when he won Defensive Player of the Year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, but we play the Raiders this weekend, so there's
that's about 3. That's about 5, right? He might date the damn record. He might break the damn record.
I was gonna say if we can get 5 sacks on the Raiders, I think Myles Garrett by himself could probably get 4 or 5.
Oh, Myles!
If he gets that, I believe he should get the MVP. I believe he should be in the running for MVP. because for him to because if he gets 5 sacks next game against Eugene Smith, he's not Geno, he's Eugene. If he gets 5 sacks against Eugene Smith, then guess what? That record is pretty much gold, and you have to because if he does that, he's on the record. He's on pace to get 30 sacks, and he got the Titans the very next game, and you know that line bad as the Taliban. So yeah,
crazy thing, and I'm gonna cap it off with this. Myles Garrett has played 127 games. He has 117 and a half sacks. If he has a strong finish to his career, he could average a sack a game.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
That's wild. Yeah. Hey, look, when we say get on your soapbox, this is what we meant. Get up there and tell us something that we didn't know. We ain't think about y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna go ahead and pass it off to my friend, my homie, Miss April. Go ahead, man. I know you got one. Your soapbox is wide open for you right now, ma'am.
So actually, I don't. For the first time ever, I was able to sit back and thoroughly enjoy my Sunday. All the 1 o'clock games were exciting to me. I had my red zone on, and I had one of the best stress-free Sundays because we lost on Thursday. So I didn't have to stress over what was going to happen on Sunday because we already lost. With that being said, I had to go back and look for it just to verify because I can't receipt. So for those of you that don't know, me and Bobby, we do a Thursday night recap after Thursday night football. And last week, the one team that I want to talk about that everybody gives flack, that I'm actually enjoying this season, Bobby keeps betting against them.
Uh-oh. She's about to check you.
So I went to check just to make sure that Bobby picked against them. I can't remember if I said it on this platform, but I know I've said it on Audible. Caleb needed Ben Johnson more than Ben Johnson needed Caleb, and it shows. I used to hate watching the Bears. I thoroughly enjoy watching the Bears this season. Like, I really enjoy watching the Bears. Like, I really like Ben Johnson as a head coach. And Bobby picked the Vikings. So that's one more point for me to move closer to beating him because he doesn't have faith in the Bears. And as much as I hate the Bears, or used to hate the Bears, I am thoroughly enjoying watching them play this season. So I don't have anything for my soapbox because I was stress free this season or this week. And I've given up on my team. I'll catch y'all in the draft. We'll see if I'm rocking with them again by then. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed my stress-free Sunday. Watch the Bears win. Their kicker, man, their kicker. Yeah, I need to find out what his name is and possibly add him on my fantasy because he did good last game. But yeah, I had a stress-free Sunday. Good job to the Bears. Thank you. I needed an extra point. But yeah, I'm very zen this week. I'm very zen.
I mean, we're not mad about that. That's something to get on the soapbox. No. You had a good weekend. You enjoyed watching football at 1 o'clock midday, no interruption. I think that is definitely something that deserves.
I watched it the whole day, and I was safe from having to watch the Cowgirls versus the Raiders yesterday. So yeah, it was a great Sunday for me.
And I'm picking against the Bears this week too.
Oh man,
who they play? I don't even know who they're playing.
Me neither.
Pick the Bears. I'm just gonna pick the Bears.
Oh man, well, as we continue on, this soapbox series is brought to you by RecRoom Sports. Thank you very much, Champ, for starting us off. I don't think he even knew you started us off, but you did a great job. We appreciate you telling us that the Falcons ain't worth a damn right now. And then
Ain't worth the salt in the bread. Ain't worth the salt in the bread.
I'll tell you, right? You know what I'm saying? So, Alan, of course, you know, your team played yesterday, but you might not even want to talk about them on your soapbox. Let us know where you at with yours, brother.
I feel like this is the AA meeting for all the battered NFL team fan bases this week. Like, Jesus, that sounds depressing. I mean, last night was a magical night, and I'm not saying it just because Dallas won, because obviously the game was in memoriam for Marshawn Nealon, who we all know 2 weeks ago tragically took his own life. If you know, saw pregame, the team wore T-shirts honoring Marshawn before the game. They talked about him in every press conference, every interview. You know how great of a teammate he was, and I know it was the Raiders. I get that, but that was the best defensive performance I've seen from this team this year. And
You're welcome.
did it. They did it for their fallen teammate. Quentin Williams, thank you again. Had his best game of the season in his first game as a Dallas Cowboy. Just shows you got to take the superstar out of New York for him to have success. Sorry. James Houston, very underrated right now, leads our team in sacks. Has more sacks than another guy that we used to have. I believe he plays in Green Bay now. I'm not sure. But yeah, last night was for Marshawn Nealon. Fantastic game plan put together. I know it was the Raiders, but you kind of felt like they were going to win that game regardless because of the situation going on. And I know they play Philadelphia coming on Sunday, but it's also the first home game since Marshawn passed. So going to be a lot of emotions in that building Sunday still. And before I get off, just want to say that if you're ever feeling that type of way, if you're ever feeling like you're lost alone, have nobody to go to, please get help. Call the suicide hotline, call one of your friends, call somebody in your family. You are never truly alone. There is somebody out there who cares about you. There is somebody out there who knows your worth, knows how good of a person you are. Just don't be afraid to ask for help.
For sure.
I feel that, bro. And you know, Bobby G, this is actually something I should tie into you in your show right now, bro. You do me a favor, tell us those questions that we should ask our homies if ever they feel like how Alan is describing right now, bro.
Absolutely. Three questions. Like I say, we normally, man, we talk to our boys. It's always, hey, what's good with you, boy? Oh, I'm chilling, right? And we just leave it at that. But nowadays, man, we got to dig deeper, really check in with our folks. So I came up with three questions that I feel should garner a response or a deeper conversation to really get to the bottom and really check in. So they are: first question, hey, what stresses are you dealing with lately? Second question, what have you done to eliminate those stresses? And the final question, what do you need from me to help you get through? So just ask your homie, check in, ask him those three questions, and hey, should be able to help your partner get through. Like I say, yeah, I mean, the biggest part of the equation is we got to be honest with ourselves and each other. You know, asking for help, reaching out for help doesn't make you weak. It actually makes you strong. So,
yeah, man, actual factuals right there. You know, you guys, Bobby G, man, I call him and be like, hey, man, you do me a favor. and you put 2 squares on the background for me, man. Hey, man, were you all right, dog? You need something? I got you. Just let me know. That's my line. I'm like, tell me what's going on. I got you, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you, Alan and Bobby, for bringing that to our attention because we talk about a lot of things here on the show, but mental health and especially women's and men's mental health is something that we don't play around with. Thank you, Miss Averill, as well for hanging on to the show just a little after. I thought you might have left by now, but thanks for hanging out with us as well. And I'm gonna do mine. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get on my little soapbox. So it's crazy to me, but this is more of a positive reference. The NFL, they got a lot of monikers. You know what I'm saying? The moniker, like alternative names, things that they may call it. They got like the Not Fun League, Not for Long, several other things that I could name for synonyms of what the NFL stands for. But one of the things I like about the NFL is that it's an opportunity-based job, entry-level job filing, right? Let's say when the opportunity is presented to you, you could either do well and prosper and last and continue, or you could not do well. And there are oftentimes that we as a crew, as a people, we don't understand the value of a second chance. We don't really value it. We go, oh, I'll get another one. I'm at a job right now. I think it's a great job. I love my job. If you ever, I don't want to shout them out because that's like free marketing for them. But I love my job. I work with some people that get out there and go, oh, well, I'm tired. They got standards. I need to meet them. I can't meet them right now. I didn't know I had to sell things. I'm going to go get another job. You going to go get another job? What? That sounds crazy to me. That you just go up and leave a good position because you have faced some adversity. And for some odd reason, you think you just going to go get another good job. But in some places, like the NFL, that opportunity comes around once and it might come around twice, but you better be prepared for when you get that second opportunity at a place like the NFL. And when I say that, I'm talking specifically about the quarterback position. Now, recently, we have been going back and forth about multiple quarterbacks who are in their second and even third stop, and they're doing well. I'm not going to put the graphic up of them, but remember Geno Smith, April? Geno Smith was drafted by the Jets, right? Am I correct? Geno Smith got his jaw broken by his own player as they were talking trash in the locker room, and we never saw the Geno Smith that we thought we would see in a New York Jets uniform. Then he got to hopping around. He backed up Phillip Rivers, and then somehow, some way, he ended up in Seattle and had a resurgence of his career. Second opportunity. Here goes another gentleman I would like to bring up right here. Let me just pull up this picture right quick. Y'all see this guy right here? Y'all know that's Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz was drafted, got hurt during the MVP season, and it's been on 2 other teams. And technically, even if I'm not mistaken, was about to be on the Super Bowl winning team. Sam Darnold keeps on getting second chances. Unfortunately, he hasn't made the best of those second chances, but he keeps getting them. What are you going to do with your second chance? Here goes another one. I got plenty of examples. Here goes another one Averill can reference. Y'all know who this is. Look at this guy.
Okay, so if you're talking about his performance this week playing the Rams, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that because it was the Rams. But Sam is actually doing very good this season. So as much as I didn't like him, he's actually doing good this season.
That is my point.
Shockingly,
Look at that, Sam Darnold. But
he just had one bad game.
He went, but check this out though. He went from New York to the Vikings, where out of nowhere the resurgence happened for him. Played with really good A1 quality wide receivers. They didn't keep him because the Vikings drafted JJ McCarthy. Ends up in Seattle after Geno Smith is gone, and Bow, the number one wide receiver quarterback duo, is him and Jackson Smith and Jigba. And they just had one horrible game. You are correct. Okay. Bow, let's talk about another NFL quarterback. What about this guy? You see how happy he looks? This guy was never seen with a smile in the other New York franchise, Daniel Jones. What about him now? He got a second chance, and he is taking full advantage of it. He also got a chance to be a backup on the Minnesota Vikings. And now he took the starting job from someone who probably didn't necessarily deserve it and is running away with it. Right now, it's possibly going to be top 3 or 4 in the MVP voting. I got more examples, fellas. It's going to keep on going. Oh, my God. What about this guy? He's old. He already won a Super Bowl ring. But he came off the couch to go from not one, but 2 teams. Came back at half staff, half of a week, threw for 300 and some odd yards, but is now, unfortunately, the Bengals aren't really doing well, but he got another opportunity. You know what I'm saying? This guy right here, I keep talking about the Jets. It's my quarterback. It's Aaron Rodgers. Oh, my God. What happened with him? Went from being the best quarterback to possibly ever throw the ball in Green Bay, went to the Jets, ran out on the field with a flag, tore his Achilles on the second play, never really got off of the fourth play. Excuse me, tore his Achilles on the 4th play, never really got off to where he wanted, and is now in Pittsburgh. I got another one, and somehow, some way, I made graphics for these. Mac Jones, last week, week 10, 319 yards, 33 for 39, out here in the streets going for 84.6 completion percentage, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Mac Jones was in New England. He was in Jacksonville for a short period of time, lands in San Francisco, and has the opportunity to play for a great prolific offensive-minded coach, uses him properly, and is possibly going to end up as a starter on another team next season. Last but not least, no conversation about Week 11 would be complete without talking about this guy, Jacoby Brissett. How? 47 of 57, 452 yards, 82.5 completion percentage, 96.8 passer rating, 2 carries for -2 yards, but that's not important. Get on your soapbox, ladies and gentlemen. I just want you to know that everybody has an opportunity, but when they give you that second one or that third one, you better take it. You better be ready for it. You better be prepared. I don't care how long you had to study. I don't care if you was tired. I don't care if you got kids. I don't care if you had to move across the country. You better be ready, because you're going to have to get in behind that center. And when you put your hands down there, you better be ready to hike that ball and find the open target. And that not just goes for the NFL, but that also goes for life. And that's what I had to say about that. Straight up.
He really had 86.5 points last week, and I had him on the bench. 86 points.
Listen, but the point is, once again, the point is these opportunities are happening, but everybody can't capitalize them. If Jake Browning would have did good for the Bengals right now, Jake Browning could have seen himself starting for another franchise next year, because Jake Browning did really well in Joe Burrow's absence last season, but this season, I don't know what the heck happened. Jake Browning did so bad they went and traded for Joe Flacco. You know, for Bobby's team right now, the idea is Shador was not necessarily fully, vetted to be the starter for the Cleveland Browns. But now he's going to get a week. The boy is going to get a whole week. Bobby G, what you say? Them tickets went up.
Yep, tickets is up.
Them ticket prices went up. That boy best be ready. I know his daddy going to have, you know what? It'd be realistic. If Dion don't even call him, Dion ain't even going to say nothing. He ain't going to talk about him for a whole week. and probably gonna call him after the game and tell him, good job, boy. That's it. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, the opportunities that we have are few and far between. But when they call you to get on that field, and when I say that field, I'm talking about in life, I'm talking about at your job, I'm talking about with your children, I'm talking about in your relationship, I'm talking about in church. I don't care. But when they call you, you better not say you know me and I ain't tell you to get ready. Don't tell them we friends and I didn't tell you to get ready. Because I promise you, your boy is getting ready for them to call my name one more time. And I'm going out on my shield when they do. Anyway, y'all, I think we had a great show. Pretty much we did two and some change. Champ, I appreciate you once again for staying and hanging with us. Avril, Alan, and of course Bobby G. It's wild that we've gotten through this part, and we really didn't. We was looking for Jay, but I know Jay had some family things going. So Jay's in our thoughts and prayers, of course, and as well as his family. But it's over. Anybody want to jump out there and say something else before we get up out of here?
The Bears play the Steelers on Sunday. Go Bears.
The Bears.
Champ, I sent you something on IG. You should get a kick out of it.
Okay.
Yeah. Big shouts out to our fans in the comment section who had 20-something inappropriate comments. We really appreciate you.
He said 20-something.
I hope you share.
More like 100, but whatever.
More like 100 inappropriate comments, but I hope you share.
I'm glad I can't see these.
Yeah, no, please. I'd be glad you can. They were too extreme. So
it's good for you. They learned a lesson from last week.
Yeah, they didn't go too hard on you at all. It was still talking. Okay, but once again, y'all, we appreciate you. Make sure you like, share, subscribe for the RecRoom Sports Podcast and the family of shows, just like our good friends on Saturday and Sunday, who will get it in for Lock It In. That's right. Make sure you check them out on Saturday and Sunday. We got Champ with the Undisputed GOAT Podcast and Sports PSP. We got Bobby G and Avril for the Audible Sports Podcast. And guess what, y'all?
I wish you had more time.
Y'all know what that means, bro. It's time to get the F up out of here, man. It's kind of late. I got to heat up a hot dog and eat something because I'm hungry. Anyway, man, we're going to be back next Tuesday. Right at it again. Of course, it's your boy King, which was number one draft pick. I had a great time. We're going to do the day thing. Hey, man, it's a button for it. I'm about to hit it because it's time to go.